I want to find the limit of this. So first notice that this looks like a definition of a derivative where the function f of x is equal to the fifth root of 64 times sine of 7 pi over 6 plus x. And I'm going to prove that it looks like that by plugging in x equals 0. So if I plug in x equals 0, this goes away. So I'm finding the fifth root of 64 sine of 7 pi over 6. Sine of 7 pi over 6 is negative 1/2. So I have 64 times negative 1/2, and all of that to the 1/5 power. That's just to the fifth root of negative 32, which is negative 2. So now I can rewrite this limit in the form of f of x minus f of 0 over x minus 0. So this right here is f of x, and this is minus f of 0, and this is just x minus 0. So all it comes down to is finding the derivative of f at x equals 0. Okay, so now my goal is to take the derivative. Before I take the derivative, I'm going to change the fifth root as just raising it to the 1/5 power. And now I'm going to use chain rule to take the derivative. First, I'm going to take the derivative of the outside function, and that means I'm going to bring it down, keep the inside the same, so this whole inside remains the same. Subtract 1 in the exponent, so 1/5 minus 1 is negative 4/5. Then take the derivative of the inside. So for the inside, you want to first take the derivative of the outside function, which is sine. Sine is cosine. Keep this 7 pi over 6 plus x the same. Multiply by the derivative of 7 pi over 6 plus x, which is really 1, but I didn't bother writing it. And now we just need to plug in x equals 0. So for that, the x's are going to go away since it's 0. And the algebra here is a little tricky, so let's go over that. So here I have 64 times sine of 7 pi over 6. Sine of 7 pi over 6 is negative 1/2. So this is negative 32. And now I'm going to raise this to the negative 4/5 power. Let's put it on the side here. The negative is just going to flip it. So it's going to be negative 1 over 32 to the 4/5 power. I'm going to take the fifth root first, which is negative 1/2. And then I'm going to raise it to the 4th power, which is 1 over 16. Okay, so this whole thing is going to be replaced with 1 over 16. So I still have the 1/5 in front, and I'm going to multiply that to get 1 over 80. So now this entire thing is 1 over 80. Next here, cosine of 7 pi over 6 is negative root 3 over 2. 64 over 2 is just 32 over 1. So that's negative 32 root 3. And now I just need to multiply 1 over 80 with negative 32 over 3. The 80 and the 32 will cancel. We'll get, well, if we divide both of them by 16, we'll get 2 and 5. And that's how we get negative 2 root 3 over 5. And that is our limit.